Oh, shit. Yeah, get it on. Hi, I'm Steve. I'm a coach with FitLab. I saw my boss, Andrew Jamison, had posted all about some ways to go slightly less insane when you're doing indoor training during the COVIDs. And I thought I would add my little two cents, which is what I think is the coolest, craziest, most wildly skeptical climbing performances in the last 20 or so years in the pro peloton. So I put together my top three, my little curation for you. Enjoy. One really good metric of how good a cyclist you are, it's not everything, it's not even most things, but it's one thing that's important is your threshold power. It's really how much power you can sustain for a sustained period of time and especially how that relates to your weight. So I'm a 78, 79 kilo dude, and I can hold about 410, 415 watts for a sustained period of time. Sustained period of time is like maybe a long climb in a race. It's kind of your red line. You know as soon as you go over it, because you can only sustain that power, that anaerobic power, for a minute or two. Under it, you can go forever. You want to be right on that line. It's your lactate threshold. Okay. Can you be nice and quiet while I'm recording my video? Thank you, sweetie pie. So if you figure that out, that 410 watts versus 79 kilos, what do you get? You get somewhere just above 5 watts per kilo, right? I mean, that's pretty simple. A recent performance, so this is a good performance I did at the Bathurst Cycle Classic 2 weeks ago, right? What I'm saying is have a look at this long climb about 2/3 or about a third of the way through, or whenever it is, and you can see there's a very even power distribution in the middle here, and there's a long for the whole climb from the bottom to the top. Let's grab that power. So that's just right bang on 5 minutes, average of 401 watts. In terms of power to weight, let's call that 5, just above 5 watts per kilo. Okay, so that's about what I'm capable of in pretty good shape. Okay, so I represent, if you like, what is a decent-ish club cyclist. Okay, what is a Newton? What would be kind of considered in terms of watts per kilo a very likely doped performance? It's actually, you would think it's kind of hard. Shut up, Siri. You would think it's kind of hard to determine, but it's not really. A pro who is in really good shape in a Grand Tour, 6 watts per kilo, reasonably regularly in the third week of a mountain stage is very good. That's certainly a podium performance. To get to 7 watts per kilo in some shorter, maybe mountain time trials, okay, for the very, very peak of the peak, anything north of that is evidence of that's not really possible. It isn't possible. It's only possible with help. So let's see what that looks like on the road. Here's top 3 videos for you to watch. This is not really doping in the true sense of the word, because this is the video that a lot of people think is the best evidence of Fabian Cancellara using alternative methods for beating Tom Bonen on the Mervan Gerardsbergen winning the 2010. I'll turn down the sound on this. Tour of Flanders. All right, so we're watching here. So we've got Cancellara in the Swiss champ jersey in red. We've got Bonen in the Belgian champ jersey. Watch what happens. Here's the start of the climb. The guys are coming back. All right, so watch. Look at the right hand of Fabian Cancellara as he's coming up on the left-hand side of Tom Bonen here. Just come back a tiny little bit. Everyone's gone over this video 1,000 times, but when you really zoom in there, it's like, wait, what's happening there? There's sort of like a lot of finger wiggling going on and what looks like button pressing going on. And let's watch what immediately happens now. Watch. Watch Bonen. He is within 5.5 seconds out of the saddle, all over the shot. And look at the fluid pedaling on Cancellara there. Now look at this. This is Bonen, just just grinding, just doing his best. I mean, everyone's going bonkers on the top of the Mur there. But when it zooms out, when the helicopter comes out, you get to see, oh, look, they don't even know where he's gone. Look, where's Cancellara? Where is he? I don't know. Where the heck is he? They can't even find the dude. It's like, oh, is that a lead car? Hopefully he's there. And so Cancellara is, I don't know how much further that is up the road. It's a lot. That's not normal. Second best mutant performance in my humble opinion. Good, an oldie but a goodie. 1996, Bjarne Riis on the How to Cam. Right, so here we've got a group of just absurdly. This is 1996 is deep doping EPO land for the pro peloton. Pretty fair to say that almost all these dudes are wildly juiced. All right, and look at the big eagle there in the yellow. Look at this giant Danish maniac coming out on the right here. So we got Riis, it's about fourth wheel. We got Veronk in the climber's jersey. We got and look at this acceleration. Okay, here's the best part about the Riis on How to Cam, right? There's this. Now we can see what this is. We can see the selection just getting torn to pieces behind him. Everyone starts stringing out. Everyone's panicking. They kind of come back on him. And now, here's the bit that's most famous about this. He kind of stopped pedaling now, or he's soft pedaling. Kind of letting them all just sort of get back on, which is super weird. And these guys are totally gassed. He's recovering. And big Danish eagle puts down the hammer again. Stretching them out again. Look at his power now. Oh, this is 7 watts per kilo. Look, tearing them up, tearing them to pieces. You got all of the biggest, best, absolutely juiced climbers in the world on the rivet, strung out, on the drops. And it's almost like you can see his effort going down and coming up. He's just toying and yo-yoing out of the saddle. It's not wildly efficient, but you don't have to be when your blood is at about 60% hematocrit. All right, so keeps going. He's dropped the Russian dude. He's Perzine. And these guys are gassed and on the limit. And wait, he's doing this move where he sort of starts slowing down again. And I was looking at everyone. He's like looking at some faces. Veronk's sort of teetering off the front there. All right, here it comes. Are you ready for it? All right, ready for it? Here we go. Watch this. Watch the speed differential. It is absurd. And from here on, he just lays down the hammer. All right, number 3. This involves everyone's favorite climber, Michael Rasmussen. So I've got this picture here, or a series of pictures. If you just Google Rasmussen skinny or something like that, you get, a lot of these types of photos. That's probably one of my favorites during the medical check. Tour de France, body fat, certainly sub 5%, maybe sub 3%. That's the sort of thing you can only hold for a very short period of time before getting sick. In stage 14, 2007, Tour de France, Plateau de Belle is the final climb, and we've got a very, very select group of climbers here. Make it smaller so it works better. So we've got Cadel Evans. It's a pretty ugly style. And look, we've got in yellow, Rasmussen, and here we go. It's going to come over the top. We've got Alberto Contador with his sort of out of the saddle style as well. Look at Cadel Evans. The thing I like about Cadel is he always seemed kind of clean to me, because you could see when he was having this Mauricio Soler, one of the skinny dudes, and here comes Contador. Okay, so the thing I like about this is you've got Contador, 7+ watts per kilo here, Plateau de Belle, out of the saddle, honking. All right, so you can see in yellow, Rasmussen's still back in the group. All right, Rasmussen's like, I don't want to hang with these turkeys. I'm going to go. Here it goes. So we've got Rasmussen, rubber bank, heading up the road. Look, just stringing them out. Leipheimer going off the back. He yo-yoed off the back. He did so well. I mean, the Leipheimer's totally underrated rider. Okay, so now it's for the old disco channel colours. We've got Contador, we've got Rasmussen kind of dragging up to him, and then if I fast forward a little bit here, it's basically they keep dropping guys. His looks like Evans going off the back. He's just gassed. And basically from here for the next 5Ks, it's absolute warfare between two mutant monsters of the sport. In yellow, Rasmussen looking uber lean. I mean, I love how this tan lines come up, and then you got this part, and then he'll have a hack, and Contador has a hack, and they both just keep going to the front, just trying to beat each other to death. I mean, it is something to behold. I mean, this is 7+ watts per kilo all the way up. We've got a guy from Astanas, they've pulled back, but they just keep carrying on like this all the way up. And there's a number of these. Okay, so in the final kilometre here, and we have the finishing sprint between Contador and Rasmussen. And look at this, look at that face, look at these. This is, by the way, I don't know, a 200 kilometre stage, something like that, third week of a Grand Tour. They've just ridden the pants off themselves for the last 2 hours up a mountain pass at high altitude, and they sprint like this in the final. I mean, this is bonkers. Look at Contador coming around to the right to give the old Pistolero. Certainly skinny maniac and master of the slightly skeptical watts per kilo. All right, that is, I shall leave it there because that's enough. Hey, I will be around on the indoor trainer with my family, staying away from the COVIDs. I suggest you do too. And when this is all over, we'll go for a ride. It's going to be good times.